As the 1960s turned to the 70s, equipment improved, technique was perfected, and embryonic bands started to form around Edward and Alex Van Halen. Trojan Rubber Company, also known as the Space Brothers, with friends Dennis Travis and Bill Maxwell, was one, and eventually there was Genesis, a power trio with bassist Mark Stone. After hearing of another more established group with the same name across the Atlantic, a change became necessary.
So we became Mammoth. That was Alex, Mark Stone, and me. That's when I used to lead sing.
And I got tired of singing. I couldn't stand that shit.
I actually first heard about Eddie and Alex when I was in a band called Snake. There was a carnival that our high school would have every year. Eddie was doing the lead singing. They were playing Cream, and I remember thinking, wow, check this guitarist out. He's playing the stuff note for note.
Another future member of Van Halen had already become aware of the brothers' musical progression back in 1970.
I knew the Van Halens when we were seniors in high school. We were crosstown rivals.
Roth was in a band called Red Bull Jet, and Ed and I could not stand the motherfucker. We couldn't stand the band, we couldn't stand the music.
Despite the rivalry, David Lee Roth had taken note of the Van Halen's musicianship and had even made an approach to the band in 1971.
So we had Roth audition. We were in my parents' house, and I'm telling you, he couldn't sing for shit. No, seriously. And I just said, sorry, man. And he walked off in a huff and a puff, and that was it.
Though he'd been rejected as a singer for Genesis, Roth remained in the Van Halen's orbit, regularly renting out his PA equipment to Mammoth and lobbying for another chance to sing.
And this went on for a few months, and eventually I just said to Ed, look, you're not really capable of being the front man and singer. I said, Ed, rather than paying Roth this $10 every time he rent his stuff, why not just get him in the band, and we won't have to pay him $10, and we'll have a lead singer.
To me, it was instantly apparent I was exactly what this band needed.
I gotta hand it to him, he was rather unique. He walked around with a certain confidence.
From the outside looking in, it might have appeared to be an odd pairing. I'm more of a jeans and t-shirt guy, and Dave was dressed like David Bowie. But he was the only guy we knew who was as serious as we were about music.
Roth and Edward were now both bandmates and classmates at Pasadena City College. And while the musical appreciation may not have been mutual at first, the singer was inspired to improve his act and performance by looking toward Mammoth's guitarist.
I listened to him play, I watched him play, and I said, you know what he does with his hands, I want to do with my feet. I want to do with my voice. He was kind of a mentor of mine.
Right from the group's beginnings, however, the clash of musical styles that would come to define Van Halen through the years was already there to be seen.
The Van Halens were all Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, and Deep Purple. The only thing white I wanted to hear was the drummer and Sly and the Family Stone. And it was a perfect balance.
There's always a certain amount of friction in a band. If you have four members and they all like the identical thing, you're gonna have no versatility. Together, it made a soup.
They were playing great music, of course. Eddie is incendiary, just wow. But nobody could dance to their stuff. And I said to them, when you play guitar, you do like this, but you ain't gonna get any girls like that. You got to get kind of smooth.
My brother used to throw drumsticks at me. Move, jump around. I was afraid to move the way I felt like moving. I would try and move the way I was supposed to. Hi, I'm a rock star, I'm a lead guitarist.
Musical differences weren't the only issue for the fledgling lineup. A short time after Roth joined, a cease and desist order arrived from another Southern California group who went by the name Mammoth, forcing the quartet to find something new.
I think the original name that they wanted was Rat Salad, which was the name of a Black Sabbath song. Well, let's make something that's going to have some longevity to it, that has a little bit of shadow and a little mystery. You're not sure what a Van Halen is.
And he said, look, Van Halen sounds nice, it's different, it's your last name, and it can be a good band name.